Okay, so last time we talked about the trig ratios and found some triangles and that kind of thing. Today we're going to go a little bit more in depth on it. Still shouldn't be too hard. Let's remember the phrase that we use. So, ka, toa. Okay. So that's for the 3 trig ratios, but there are actually 6. Okay, we have sine, we have cosine, and we have tangent, and we know those already, right? So sine is opposite over hypotenuse. Okay. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. And tangent is opposite over adjacent. Now, there are 3 more trig functions, and they actually are the opposites of these. Now, I want to talk about, so the one for sine is called the cosecant, and it's just CSC, and it's pronounced cosecant, okay? This is not, on the calculator, you will have something that says sine to the -1. It is not that, okay? That is the inverse of sine, that is completely different. So don't use that button. There is not actually a cosecant sign on your calculator, so you will have to use this, okay? So the cosecant is actually the reciprocal of the sine, so it's 1 over the sine, okay, which is the best way to do this if you are performing calculations in the calculator, which the same thing, 1 over the sine is the same thing as the hypotenuse over the opposite, okay? So, and then the secant is the opposite of the cosine, okay? So this is SEC, it's secant, it's the opposite of the cosine. Again, these, I expect you to memorize these, but if you just always remember it's 1 over cosine, which is the same thing as the hypotenuse over the adjacent, okay? And then the opposite of the one that goes with the tangent is called the cotangent, COT, all right, which is 1 over tangent, okay? Again, these are not the inverses, these are reciprocals, all right, which is then adjacent over the opposite, okay? Now, a lot of these you're not doing any calculations with, you just have to write the numbers down, so you don't have to worry about the calculator. So you will have some problems on your homework that asks you to do that. To use a calculator, make sure when you use a calculator that your calculator is in degree mode. That's really important, or you will get your answers wrong, okay? So if you go into your mode on your calculator, there's one that says radian and degree. Make sure degree is highlighted. We will be using radians in a couple of sections. So not these first 2 sections, we'll be using just degrees. After that, we'll be using radians. But for right now, I want you to know, make sure it's switched to degrees. All right, so let's do an example. Okay, we're going to give you a triangle. Always a right triangle. There you go. This one right here is going to be -3. This one right here is 2. And this one right here is the square root of 7. Okay? This angle that we're going to be using here is theta. And I want to find all 6 trig functions for theta. So we're going to first find easy ones. Now, don't worry about rationalizing. Okay, I just want you to write them down. So sine, cosine, tangent, and then we have cosecant, secant, and cotangent, right? All right, now, SOHCAHTOA, sine is opposite over hypotenuse. So we have the opposite of theta is the square root of 3. So we have the square root of 3. The hypotenuse is the square root of 7. Hypotenuse, in case you're wondering, is always the line that is directly across from the right angle. All right, cosine is adjacent. So the angle that is right next to theta is 2. So it's 2 over the square root of 7. And tangent is the opposite over adjacent, the square root of 3 over 2. Again, don't worry about rationalizing. Now, reciprocals of these, super easy. Right? What's the reciprocal of the square root of 3 over square root of 7? The square root of 7 over the square root of 3. Okay, secant, square root of 7 over 2. That's a 7. And the reciprocal of the tangent, which is the cotangent, is 2 over the square root of 3. Okay? So several of your homework problems will ask you to do that. Okay? So now let's look at what we call special triangles. These are super important. I'm not going to tell you right off the bat that you have to have those memorized, but you should. You'll use them more than, you'll use them enough that you will. All right, so the first one is 45, 45, 90 triangle. Did we talk about special triangles last time? I don't think we did. Nope, so this is, okay. So 45, 45, 90. This is a 1, this is the length of 1, and this is the length of square root of 2. And then we'll also have a triangle that looks like this. Okay. This is a 30, 60, 90 triangle, okay? The side that's opposite of the small angle is 1, okay? The side that's opposite of the 60 degrees is the square root of 3, and the hypotenuse is always 2. These are special triangles. We will use these over and over and over again, okay? You will memorize the sine, cosines, and tangents of these triangles, I promise. So, first of all, you'll be given some, in this homework assignment, you'll be given some problems that are fairly easy. You need to write these triangles down so you have them. But it will ask if the sine of theta is 1/2, what is theta? Okay, well, we need to look at our triangles, right? Now, sine is always the opposite over hypotenuse, right? So which one has an opposite angle that is 1 and the hypotenuse is 2? So if we look at here, this is 1, 1 and square root of 2 on the 45, 45, 90. And on this one, hey, we have a 1 and we have a 2. The 1 is opposite of 30 degrees. So the answer to this one is 30 degrees. Right? So you'll be given some other problems like that. Okay, so just a heads up on your homework tonight, I'm actually going to give you a new book. It is a book that I have in the classroom. I like it much, much better than the black books for the trig section. I have attached I don't have physical copies of them, our classroom set, but that's about it. But I have a PDF of the book. I put it on this assignment. I will also put it in a note. Please download it and keep it. You're going to be using it for the majority of this next semester, so please make sure that you have it. We'll use the black book sometimes too, but mostly this one. So your homework tonight, I will post that on Edmodo. I will also give you the new book. Homework tonight is even problems, so you can't cheat because a lot of them are just easy. They're either easy calculator problems or stuff that you don't have to show your work on. So. Lost my mouse. I can't stop the video.